This is a new release lens by Astrhori, and I think for most people, this is going to be a love it or hate it thing. It is a completely unique, fun, frivolous type lens, and although it is a new release, I think it is an optical formula, or at least based on an optical formula that's been around for a few years. And I had a couple of different versions of what seemed to be the same lens by different manufacturers over the years. And early days, it was actually one of my favorite lenses, particularly for day to night time lapse. And that's because it's actually a very sharp lens at f2. It's very good in low light. And because it's so wide, you just capture this huge wide image. And when I used it as a day-to-night time-lapse lens, I could either leave it in this circular fisheye mode, because it's actually a circular fisheye lens, which means the image doesn't cover the whole sensor, or I could correct that in Lightroom and create a day-to-night time-lapse where it filled the entire image on the screen. So it can be used both ways. And I really wanted to point that out because I think most people are going to think a 6.5mm f2 fisheye is just a frivolous, absurd kind of lens, which it is. But I wanted to show you that you can actually use it by correcting that and making it look a little bit more like a normal lens. In full disclosure, Astrhori did send me this lens at no cost to myself. This is not a paid or sponsored video, and they had no say in the making of the video. I'll put some links in the description down below to the best pricing I could find on the lens, as well as a list of currently available lens mounts. One of the really fun ways to use this, particularly when I was traveling and doing like family vlogs type stuff just for my own family, is at the end of a day, I like to run vlogs that start in the morning and ended at the end of the day. And I would like to end those videos with a day-to-night time-lapse with the circular fisheye lens. And sometimes I would leave the circular fisheye effect in, and other times I would take it out. But because the stars are kind of moving around the world in this circular fashion anyways, the circular fisheye effect kind of leans into that, and I think looks really, really cool. It's also a very inexpensive way to get into astrophotography, and I think this is probably the cheapest lens I know about that really does high-quality astrophotography or astro time-lapse. So if that's something you're looking to get into, this is actually an excellent starting point. The other fun thing about the lens is just the crazy photos, particularly when you get close focus, because 6.5mm is so ultra wide that the things close to the lens seem quite big, and then it pushes everything else farther and further away. So you get this crazy dramatic perspective distortion that really just warps the world around you. The other thing that's really interesting about the lens is that it has a 190-degree field of view. So 180 degrees means that we're seeing all the way like this, like all the way here and here. But this lens 190 actually sees slightly behind you, which means if you don't watch it, if you've got a camera that's got a big grip, or if you get your hands when you're focusing, even though your hands aren't in front of the lens, it can actually sometimes see your hands in the shot. You'll also often get your legs or feet in the shot if you're not careful. So if you don't want those to be in there, you kind of got to push the camera out in front of you. The other thing that's super fun about this lens is to use it as kind of like a crazy, surreal video lens where you've got the whole world wrapping around you. And I think it works best when you have the horizon straight. So you just get a horizon straight. So then the distortion is all the things on the top and bottom. But the flat horizon creates this interesting effect where the most important thing to be straight is straight, and then everything else is distorted, where if that horizon is distorted, it kind of throws the whole thing off. But if you keep that horizon flat, put it in the middle of the image, you get this really wild, surreal type image. Another one of the interesting aspects of this lens is the fact in some situations, depending on your lighting, you can actually see the inside of the lens on the photo, which I think is fascinating. It gives this really cool framing around the circular fisheye image, but also gives you almost this feeling like you are behind something and looking out through a hole in the lens. And I think it really opens some interesting creative opportunities in photo or video. And when you are editing, you can actually lift the shadows in some situations to expose more of that framing or inside of the lens if you want. This is a fully manual lens, which means it's manual focus, manual aperture, but importantly with ultra wide lenses like this, it's actually quite easy to nail focus because you have a very deep depth of field. And for astrophotography, I actually prefer to have a manual focus lens. So almost exclusively when I'm shooting astrophotography, it is with a manual focus lens like this one. Just looking at the build quality, it is an all metal lens. It has a polished metal lens mount. And although I do believe this optical formula has been used by other lens manufacturers in other lenses, I actually think this is the best implementation I've seen as far as the ergonomics and build on the lens. And this is not uncommon for Astrhori. They have this really unique way that they design their lenses, and they have this kind of knurled texture on the focus and aperture rings, and it almost feels like, I don't know, agricultural or something. It is a very, very robust setup. And the other thing it does have is this lens cap is the best implementation I've seen of any of the lens caps on this type of lens. And that is it goes on and it twists and locks in place. The other ones I've seen are just push-ons, and they can often fall off quite easily. So this is really cool. You just twist, and it actually has some marks so you can see where to put it on, and it clicks in place. So that's certainly the best implementation of a lens cap I've seen in this design. And then when we look at the focus and aperture rings, it's actually got a clicked aperture ring, which once again, I prefer for photography, particularly for astrophotography, so that doesn't get bumped and get knocked out. And then it has a very smooth operating focus ring, which has your markings, including the infinity focus. Now, the lens is going to be available on all the popular mirrorless mounts, and I will put some links in the description down below to all the different mounts that you can get it on, as well as the best pricing I know about. Looking at the overall image quality, it's pretty hard to run the normal tests that you would run on a lens with a lens like this. In fact, I'll just show you a picture of what the test chart looks like. This is me getting up close and trying to fill the whole sort of frame with that chart, and obviously it looks completely ridiculous. But even at f2 in the center frame, it is a very sharp lens. And that's one of the things about this lens overall. It is exceptionally sharp, which is one of the reasons it's so great for astrophoto and astro time-lapse. Looking at chromatic aberration and longitudinal chromatic aberration, these are all pretty well controlled, nothing that you would really need to worry about. And flare, which tends to be a problem with ultra-wide lenses and also with cheap lenses, flare is reasonably well controlled, although at times you will get this kind of effect where I think it's almost bouncing off the elements in the lens. And I think I've got some time-lapse that actually show it, and I'll probably point it out now. So you do sometimes get these weird sort of refractions or flares that are bouncing around in the lens. But for the most part, it's pretty well controlled, holds good contrast. And I don't think there's ever a situation where it just completely washed out the image. One of the really interesting things about this lens is the really spectacular sun stars you can get out of it. And I think that is super cool, both in photo and video. You get these really spectacular sun stars. And because you've got such a wide image, there's plenty of opportunity to get bright points of light in the scene. So just stop it down a little bit and you'll get these incredible, interesting looking sun stars. The other thing the lens does, it does have very good close-up image quality, but you're looking at about a 20 centimeter minimum focus distance, which isn't like all that close. I wish it was a little bit closer because you could get a much more cool sort of surreal perspective distortion effect if you could get a little bit closer. But as long as you've got something that's big enough to fill up a decent part of the frame, you can get reasonably close to that and you do get a pretty cool effect. There really isn't much bokeh to speak of because 6.5 millimeters on f2, it is hard to get much of an out of focus background. So what there is looks absolutely fine. I think ultimately this is a super interesting, super fun lens. I don't think it is necessarily for everyone, but particularly if you're interested in astrophotography or astro time-lapse and you're on a budget, there really isn't a better budget lens than this lens. And in addition to that, you can take some really cool, interesting, fun, novel photos, and you can capture some really cool kind of stylized type video. And I think there's situations in narrative film that it might also be useful for. And since I also reviewed this lens on EFM, I've got a little bit longer video about it, and I'll throw that video on screen now. So if you want a little bit more information on the lens and what you might use it for, then you can check out that video.